Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry. So last episode we finished up a conversation with Kinzo's relationship or love history, right? They were talking about it. And then afterwards they realized for the first time that everything that's been happening is the same as the thing that is written in the epitaph, right? And then, yeah, chaos ensued. Natsui pointing the gun at Nanjo Genji Kumasawa, right? Running them out of the room. Basically, they agreed and they left. Even Maria left, right? But Butler gave his scorpion charm to her. So if we are gonna have our 6th, 7th, and 8th Twilight today, it's gonna be those three, right? So let us continue and let's see what happens today. So let's go. After we chased them out, nobody wanted to say anything. All of the suspicious ones had been driven away. Even though we knew there might be some innocents among them, we still did it. We chased him out of his paradise. Sorry. Where people don't have to suspect each other. But our motives for chasing them out was suspicion of one person towards another. The worst kind of crime for a human. If we had accepted the existence of a 19th person, of the witch, then we all might still be talking face to face, trusting in each other. In that instant, we had agreed to chase out all of the suspicious people. But had that been the right thing to do? During this endless silence, we could do nothing but be quietly tormented by that sin. Aunt Natsuhi faced the door without letting go of her rifle for even an instant, sitting far back into the sofa. She would probably spend the night staring at the door without a wink of sleep. George Aniki gazed through a gap in the closed curtains by the window, looking down at the courtyard and the mansion that surrounded it. I didn't know whether he was checking to see if a suspicious shadow would become visible through the window, or whether he was wondering to himself about something. Jessica was sitting sideways on the sofa next to Aunt Natsuhi with a dead expression on her face. And every once in a while, as though she just remembered something, she'd take out the inhaler she had used during her asthma attack and stick it in her mouth. I just heard it from Aniki, but apparently Jessica liked Kanon-kun. Dude, Butler is so slow, man. Wasn't it obvious that Jessica liked Kanon-kun? It was apparently so vague that she hadn't realized it herself. You know, it's the kind of thing other people tend to spot before the person in question realizes it. I mean, for Jessica, was she going to an old girls' school? I don't remember, but yeah, she's going to school from the island, so she's still living here, right? And yeah, Kanon-kun is working here. Pretty much same age, right? So yeah, I guess she liked him, that's why. Which means she might have first learned of her feelings when the person she liked died. It must have been so terrible, so sad. Come to think of it, Kanon-kun was the one who handed her that inhaler. Maybe she was remembering that? I was fishing around grandfather's study, thinking I'd research the meaning of the magic circle on the letter's second sheet. Even though we were shut up here in a defensive position, my rebellious nature made me want to find some key, some way to resist. After all, we got plenty of time before tomorrow morning. Who could fault me for how I used that time? No one else showed that much interest in this magic circle. Its meaning was unknown, and once we understood it, we were sure to find some message that would cause us unnecessary anguish. I felt the same way. However, I couldn't just ignore it, so I killed time by going through the motions of researching it.
熱心だね。何か手がかりになるようなことは見つけられたかい？
さっぱりさ。そもそも日本語で書かれた本を探すことからして骨だぜ。じいさまは一体何カ国語を読めたってんだ。大したもんだぜ。
バトラ君は眠くないの？誰かが起きていてくれてるうちに休んだ方がいいよ。夏日おばさんは寝ず番をしてくれると言ってるけど、体が持つわけない。ローテーションで休んだ方がいいよ。
じゃあ兄貴が先に休めよ。俺は眠気が来るまでちょいと調べ物をしてるさ。
さっきの魔法陣？
うん、まあな。どうせ時間は腐るほどあるさ。ベアトリーチェ様がどういうメッセージを込めやがったのか、面白そうだと思ってよ。
よせよ。そういうのやってると妙なのに取りつかれちまうぜ。
安心しろよ。俺はマリアにお墨付きをもらってるぜ。俺には霊的才能はからっきしなんだとよ。
マリアのこと邪険にしすぎたかな。
ジェシカ、今はそれを考えてはなりません。
でも母さん、もしもマリアが無関係で犯人が他にいたなら、犯人は襲いやすい相手を狙うに決まってる。それで殺されたなら私たちは見頃。
Alright, sorry, I accidentally clicked it. A gloomy silence settled once again. It looked like Jessica regretted letting her emotions take hold of her and is snapping at Maria, sorry. She's always been like that. Always acting tough and regretting it later.
気持ちはわかりますが、マリアは犯人と接触し、こともあろうか、その肩を持つように煙に巻く発言を繰り返しています。私はこの部屋から追い出せて清々しています。
夏日おばさんって結構きついっすね。9歳の女の子のザレ言かもしれないじゃないっすか。
It probably wasn't very convincing to hear that coming from me. I myself thought Maria was creepy on several occasions, even doubting her true nature. And when Maria was chased out of this room, I couldn't deny I'd felt some relief.
もしそうだったなら、明日謝罪します。彼らをこの部屋から追い出したのは全て私の責任です。だからあなたたちが気に病むことはないのです。
I could feel a tragic determination in Aunt Natsu's words. To protect her own daughter, she had resolutely chased out the suspicious ones. And if, as a result, she had to watch the people who had unfortunately been suspected to die, so be it. She was prepared to take full responsibility.
なんでマリアってあんなことばかり言うんだよ。自分で自分の首を絞めてるぜ。
もともとマリアちゃんが魔女や魔法に傾倒するようになったのは、僕はローザおばさんのせいじゃないかと思ってる。
ローザおばさんのせい？何がどう関係してるってんだよ。
バトラ君だって気づいてるんじゃないかい？マリアちゃんの本当の父親はずいぶん昔に蒸発してるんだ。おばさんはそれを海外出張とか言ってごまかしているけどね。
後宮家ではローザさんたちに関わる話は タブーとされているところがあります。
おばさんは再婚だって考えたと思うよ。でも、マリアちゃんの存在が枷になって、非常に難しかったんじゃないかと思うんだ。だっておばさんは時折、ものすごく感情的にマリアちゃんに当たっていたから。
それについては同感だぜ。ローザおばさんはマリアを好きになろうと努力してるように見えた。ってことはつまり好きじゃないってことなんだよな。再婚の妨げになっているマリアに思うところがあったんだろうよ。
母親の感情的な拒絶がきっと彼女の幼い心に深い傷を残したと思うんだ。そしてどこかでオカルト趣味と出会い、心の隙間を埋めるように没頭していく。知ってるかい？マリアちゃんにとって魔女のイメージは決してネガティブなものじゃないんだよ。ほら、昨日海岸でマリアちゃんのノートを見せてもらわなかったかい？
ああ。なんだか楽しそうな落書きでいっぱいだったぜ。
Yesterday, when we were down by the beach, doubting the witch, Maria got all riled up and started explaining about witches. And not one of the pages had shown a picture of an ugly witch. They were all brightly colored, beautiful, cute witches who looked like they were having fun. There was absolutely nothing sinister about them like a boy might have imagined. They were beings adorned with special or beautiful dresses, who could grant anyone's dreams with their mysterious magic, and who made everyone happy. The sorrow of not being loved by her mother had Maria sought help from the witches as beings who could give her happiness and save her. Someday a witch would come and, using her wonderful magic, would bring Maria happiness. Even though she believed that, as she grew older, she had to face reality as her fleeting dreams were sliced to ribbons one by one. If something claiming to be the witch of Rokinjima appeared in front of a girl like that, whispering that she'd take Maria to the Golden Land where Maria could be happy, she will believe it, yes?
僕は今頃になって胸中を告白するよ。マリアちゃんを、いや、源氏さんたちを追い出したのは多分いけないことだったんじゃないかな。
Alright, so I'm guessing now what they're gonna do is they're gonna go out, they're gonna apologize, and they're gonna find the other three dead. Okay, I'll guess that.
気まずくはあるぜ。
Since Jessica had been the one to face them and slam them with words of rejection, her conscience must be tormenting her a lot right now.
なら、皆さんはあの手紙をどう説明するのですか？
But the letter just suddenly showed up. That's why we had chaos last time. It was because of the letter, right? But yeah, I'm thinking that maybe Maria slipped it there. Like whenever I'm talking and saying that I don't want to believe right now that there's some supernatural stuff, right? But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe. I'm thinking of logical ways that thing may happen, right? Oh, how that happened. Like the easiest one is maybe Maria slipped it there, right? When they were distracted, she put it instantly. No one was looking at it. Maybe, right?
私の後ろにいた4人以外の誰にも置くことはできなかった。
Maybe everyone was so focused on what they were seeing, they were looking forward, and Maria being so small, right? Maybe they didn't notice that.
それは私がこの目ではっきり確認しています。あの4人が潔白だというなら、どうやってこの密室の8人もの人間がいる中で 手紙を置けたというのですか。
But yeah, the problem is the actual killings though. How did it happen? I don't think Maria could have done it, right? At least with some of them. Yeah, the beginning ones, the 6 people, right? I highly doubt that Maria could have done it. I mean, maybe she could have poisoned them, but how did she bring them, for example, to the storehouse, right? So like that's literally impossible, right? Unless she had help. But if the other ones are killed, yeah, the 3 ones that went out, who else, right? Who else could have helped her? Maybe for Ava, maybe she got caught what do you call this, by surprise, and Hideyoshi as well, right? Maybe that is possible. For Canon was looking at the darkness and suddenly he got stabbed, right? So yeah, maybe Maria could have done that. But yeah, the first one is like the literal impossibility. Like, how could she move them to the storehouse, right? That is kind of hard. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe who knows, right? Maybe when the 6th, 7th, 8th twilight happens, we'll see Beatrice. Yeah, it said that 9th twilight she will revive, right? We'll find out.
そうなんだよ。その話が始まっちまうと、確かに4人は怪しいってことになっちまう。だが、全然ダメなんだ。ああ、全然ダメだぜ。
ダメって何がだい？
ああ、もう今さら何の役にも立たないかもしれねえが、またチェス盤をひっくり返させてくれ。つまりあの4人が本当に犯人だってんならよ、おかしいんだよ。
そうだぜ。あんなテーブルの上に堂々と置いたら、この中に犯人がいますよと告白するようなもんじゃねえか。そうだよ、おかしい。やるなら例えば扉の隙間に置いて廊下側から差し込まれたように見せかけるとか。そうだよ、部屋の外に犯人がいるように見せかけなきゃ自分が疑われてしまうことが分かってたはず。
ああ、そういうことなんだ。あの4人の中に犯人がいたとして、テーブルのど真ん中に手紙をポンと置くことはリスクばかりで何の意味もないんだ。だがどうやってそこに手紙を置いたかのトリックは置いといて、あの4人以外の誰か、すなわちこの部屋の外に犯人がいたと仮定したとき、あの手紙には大きな意味が生まれる。
よしなさい、バトラ君。
Batla-kun.
今さら些細な問題です。
Natsui-san quickly guessed what I was getting at. No, maybe she had thought of it long before I had and had simply held her tongue.
この部屋の外に犯人がいて、俺たちが外からは手出しをできない密室に立てこもっちまったらお手上げだ。ああ、そうだよ。この部屋からじいさまがいなくなったって話の時、俺が披露した説じゃねえか。じいさまが自分から出ていくという説。自分から出ていくような何かの細工を犯人がして、まんまと外へおびき出していたのだとしたら。
Come to think of it, when we found the scorpion magic circle on the doorknob to the study, Maria said it herself. Beatrice couldn't get through this door. Yes, right? But yeah, she was saying last episode though, like Beatrice is here, right? You just can't see her. That's what she's saying then. But she could induce someone to leave of their own accord.
だとすると私たちは犯人の罠に見事はまって。
Yeah, they what do you call this? They forced the others to leave basically, right? Yeah. We fell for the culprit's trap.
新しい生贄候補を送り出しちまったことになるぜ。
源氏たちもバカではありません。身を守ろうと思うなら、この部屋の次に安全な場所をすぐに思いつくでしょう。そこできっと身を潜めています。
Aunt Natsui hadn't answered the question. Aunt Natsui herself had realized that if the culprit wasn't in our group back then, that letter would make sense as a trap. However, it wasn't worth the risk of calling back the people she had once thrown out. To Aunt Natsui, right now, her greatest and only duty was to protect the children. By her thinking, in order to do that, a few sacrifices were unavoidable.
なあ、夏日おばさん。きついこと聞くぜ。もしあの時、たまたまジェシカもおばさんの後ろにいたなら、おばさんはこの部屋からジェシカも追い出してたかい？確かに残酷なところはあったかもしれない。でも、夏日おばさんは母として娘を守りきろうと思った。その責務から自分がやがては糾弾されることを覚悟で彼らを追放したんだ。俺は別にそれを責めてえわけじゃねえ。ただジェシカはいいお袋を持ったなってそう思ったのさ。
そうだね。夏日おばさんは朝からずっと続いているこんな事件の中でも冷静さを失わず、ずっとみんなを牽引してきてくれた。もしおばさんまで混乱していたら、僕たちは今頃全員犯人の手にかかっていたかもしれない。だから僕たちはおばさんに感謝しなくちゃいけないと思う。
ありがとう。
バトラたちの言いたいことは、つまりこういうことだろう。マリアの母でもあってほしいって。私、マリアのことを実の妹みたいだとずっと思って可愛がってきた。
I mean, like, yeah, if you do survive though this night and you continued living, yes, Natsui is gonna adopt Maria because yeah, basically they're family, right?
なのにいろんなことがあって、ちょっと混乱しちゃって。
I mean, that was gonna happen anyways, is what I'm saying.
ひどいことをたくさん言って傷つけてしまった。母さん、お願いだよ。マリアも、みんなも一緒にいようよ。私たちの中に犯人なんていなかったんだよ。この事件の犯人は魔女のベアトリーチェでいいじゃないか。
Okay, now they're accepting it. It was Beatrice.
だからもう。
Aunt Natsui closed her eyes for a short while. Was she coping with her throbbing headache again? Or was she thinking of something? They better tell us why she's having headaches all the time, right? Ever since the beginning. Natsui, she has her headaches. Why? She's sick? Or what?
ジェシカは主人と結婚してから12年もかけてようやく授かった大切な娘です。
The one I finally received a whole 12 years after I married my husband. What does that mean? The one I finally received?
私はジェシカを守るためならどの
There was some pretty strong language at the end there. She realized very well that her words were an idealized view of what a mother should be, but even so, she was strongly resolved to protect her daughter even if she had to become a demon. But that was her guilty conscience tormenting her. The days have been so long. So many things happened in one day. and we've been driven into a corner so thoroughly. I wonder if we have the right to greet tomorrow the way we are now. There it is.
見つけた。この魔法陣だ。
Inside the book I'd been flipping through, I had found the same magic circle that had been drawn on the second sheet of the letter. George Aniki peered at it as well. The magic circle's name was the third magic circle of Mars. The Hebrew written on it was from Psalm 77 verse 13 of the Old Testament. What a god is so great as our god. The meaning of the magic circle was discord. What discord? Agitate internal divisions and cause the enemy to bring about their downfall. Yes. So basically that's what happened with them, right? With the letter there. It created discord within the group, and afterwards the other half was kicked out. Yeah. It was not really a magic circle, but yeah, it said discord there. Yeah, that was kind of cool though, right? It really did happen. Yeah.
マジかよ。
Could there be a more fitting way to describe her current situation and mental state? That was cool. Yeah, that was really nice. We couldn't help but be stunned into silence.
じゃあこの手紙は罠だってのかよ。
Yes, the letter that was there was put into motion to put discord into the group. And you kick them out. And when we see them, they're probably gone.
どうやってここに置いたんだよ。この部屋には私たち8人以外には誰もいなかったんだぜ。
とにかくどうやってここに置いたのか、その方法は捨ておくぜ。とにかく犯人の狙いはたった一つ。この鉄壁の書斎に疑心暗鬼を引き起こして、生贄の羊を俺たちの手で外へ放り出させることだったんだ。
だとしたら狙いは外へ出された人たちだ。
母さん、どうしよう。あの4人が危ない。
It wasn't surprising that Aunt Natsui remained unpleasantly silent. It wasn't... Okay, I was reading it again, sorry. Even if this was all a trap by the culprit, even if the four who had been chased out of the room were in danger, it had nothing to do with the safety of the 4 people in here. And there was no way to prove the innocence of the 4 people we chased out. If we're willing to let them die, then we shouldn't leave this room no matter what. I mean, that is kinda true. You already did that, right? Just stay here, apologize tomorrow, right? Why are you gonna go out now and call them back? No, you did that, just wait. What if something really happens, right? Just wait then. That way is the safest. Oh my god, didn't they say the phone was broken? At the time, suddenly the piercing sound of a phone rang through the room. It was the antique extension phone set on the table in grandfather's study. It had rang right after we started talking about the letter being a trap. It was natural to think of it as an SOS from the ones we chased out. But then Aunt Natsui spoke.
どうして電話が故障していて使えないはずなのに。
そんなことは関係ねえさ。もしマリアたちが助けを求める電話だったら。
そもそも電話の普通が犯人の工作によるものならば、この電話おそらく。
With that one sentence, the ring of the phone, which once sounded like a scream for help, now started to sound like a ghastly lure from some unknown person. Aunt Natsui hesitated over whether to pick up the receiver.
トロおばさん、何かの理由で電話が回復したのかも。マリアちゃんたちからの緊急の電話の可能性もある。
そうだぜ。それに万一犯人からの電話だったら上等さ。話を聞いてやろうじゃねえか。それにどうせ電話だ。受話器越しに何をほざいたって痛くも痒くもないぜ。
おばさんが取らないなら俺が取るぜ。
私が取ります。もしもし。
I stretched out my hand to take the receiver, but Aunt Natsu grabbed it before I could reach. We all held our breath, trying to figure out who the person on the other end of the phone was. But for a while, Aunt Natsu kept saying hello. A silent phone call? There's no way Maria and the others would do something so creepy. Which means, could this phone call possibly really be? Natsu stopped repeating hello and strained her ears, because she thought she heard something far away on the other end of the receiver. What was that?
歌って何ですかおばさん。
Singing?
わかりません。
Can we hear the song?
電話の向こうでかすかに誰かが歌っているのが聞こえます。何のことやら。
ちょっと受話器を借りますぜ。もしもし。
I half forced the receiver from the stunned Aunt Natsu's hand and pressed it against my ear. At first, I didn't hear anything, but because I had been told about it beforehand, I noticed. It sounded far away from the receiver rather than someone speaking in a quiet voice. Yeah, I can hear it now, and it sounded like a girl singing a song. Hear that? Very, very faint, right? That voice did sound like Maria's, but that just made the situation even more inexplicable. At the very least, the ones who had made the phone call hadn't been Maria. After all, Maria was singing some song from far away from the receiver. I mean, you could do that though, right? Yeah, dial a number, put the phone down, and then you run towards who knows where, and then yeah, sing. I mean, you could do that, right? I mean, Natsui didn't answer it instantly. They were hesitating to answer it, right? I mean, Maria could have done that. In that case, the one who made the phone call should have been Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, or Dr. Nanjo. And yet, they weren't saying anything. Why? For what reason? The person who made this phone call, who was it?
おい、もしもし。誰だ、返事をしろ。歌ってるのはマリアなのか。返事をしてくれ。
何が起こってんだよ。どういうことだ。
わからね
え。It's getting very loud again.
一つ言えることは、多分これは罠で、そしてマリアが危険だってことだけだ。
Aunt Natsui took the receiver again, but after yelling into it several more times, she realized she wasn't getting anywhere and hung up. After that, she dialed quickly, and then she clicked her tongue. That's right. If the phones are working, we should be able to reach the police. But judging by Aunt Natsui's reaction, the outside telephone line still didn't connect.
行こう。罠かもしれないことは分かってても行かないわけにはいかない。
Okay. They're dead now.
ああ、まったくだぜ。
Man, go out. You're done, sir.
ジェシカと夏井おばさんはここにいてくれ。
When Aniki and I tried to dash out, Aunt Natsui stopped us.
お待ちなさい。あなたたちだけに行かせるわけにはいきません。私も行きます。ジェシカはここで待ちなさい。
私だけのけ者かよ。冗談じゃない。私も行くぜ。
そうだな。その方がいいかもしれねえぜ。電話が俺たちをさらに分散させる狙いがあるってんなら、留守番を残すのは適当じゃねえ。
議論する暇も惜しい。みんなで行こう。
Aunt Natsui raised the rifle high and took the lead. I couldn't go unarmed myself. I found a 3-pronged candle stand and readied it. Although the pins on it used to fit candles were short, it was almost like a 3-pronged spear. Okay, here we go. Then the 4 of us left the study. We left the study, which should have been the safest place inside the mansion. By doing this, we had been lured out, even though we had barricaded ourselves in a safe, closed room. Perhaps we were doing exactly the same thing Grandfather had done when he disappeared from his room. Maria! Oh my god, I got scared. Jessica, she suddenly just shouted there. Oh my god. I listened closely, but I didn't hear anything. The mansion was vast, and since the passing typhoon was making its last stand, the sound of the rain was even noisier than before.
マリアちゃんは確か客間でテレビを見たいと言ってたよね。階下に降りてみよ
う。そうですね。行ってみましょう。みんなは周りに用心して。
うわっ。
Okay, here we go, here we go. With Aunt Natsui in the center, her rifle readied and her finger on the trigger. We moved in a group, our backs together, checking our surroundings in all directions. It was just as though the magic of the magic circle, designed to spread discord, had worked. We had to split up and furthermore had been dragged out into dangerous territory. In other words, even now, we were doing just what the culprit wanted us to do. This was a separate world where it wouldn't be odd for anything to suddenly occur. Aunt Natsui nervously pointed the barrel of the gun at a very dark spot in shadow. Sorry. It felt like the notion or the motion was out of fear rather than caution. But the rifle she held in her hand, there should have been a trump card that the culprit feared.
僕はずっと思ってたんだ。カノン君のように胸にあのアイスピックを突き刺すことは不可能ではないと思う。
I've been thinking it wouldn't be impossible to stick one of those ice picks in someone's chest. Wouldn't be impossible? What?
でも母さんたちのように頭蓋骨を打ち抜いて眉間に突き立てるなんて簡単なことじゃないと思うんだ。
Is he saying that, yeah, you need a lot of force, I guess, right? For the chest, it's much more easier to pierce it through rather than the head, is that it?
犯人はそれだけバカ力ってことか。
Oh yeah, I guess, right? For example, even for when I was thinking like Maria, maybe done to Ava or Hideyoshi, right? That would have, yeah, done a lot of force, or you should have had a lot of force to just strike it down into the head, right?
多分あのアイスピックを飛ばす、あるいは打ち込む射出機のような武器があるんだよ。
Kind of weapon, like for example, like a spear gun, right? Is that?
人力だけであれだけ深々と衝突するにはあの絵は短すぎる。
いずれにせよ頭蓋骨を打ち抜くほどに強力です。カノンの傷も肺にまで届いていたそうです。もし相手の姿を見ても決して前に出ないように。
Okay, I heard Kanon's wound reach as far as his lungs.
私の後ろから出てはいけませんよ。
just how sinister and frightening was the weapon that could shoot those creepy ice picks. And could I do anything to combat it with just this candle stand in my hand? In the first murder, the culprit probably assaulted all 4 of our parents at once as they discussed the inheritance problem in the dining hall. And there were 4 of us here now. Apparently I wasn't the only one or the only person thinking this. George, Aniki, Jessica, and of course Aunt Natsuhi were stretching their senses to the utmost limit in the highest and worst state of tension, slowly advancing one step then another. What have we done? Because of the seeds of doubt spread by that one letter, we threw Maria and the rest into the middle of this terrifying world. We finally reached the first floor. The parlor was just across the hall. Oh my god, I can feel that this is gonna be super creepy, man. When we listened carefully, we could hear it faintly. Maria's eerie singing voice. She wasn't singing naturally as though she were in a good mood. She was singing mechanically like she was a graduation ceremony and she'd been ordered to. The song she sang was just a common folk song, what everyone has probably sung in school at one time or another. But why, in the middle of the night, alone with all her heart, over and over? Why? Right after leaving the study, we had called out in loud voices, asking Maria where she was. By this time, no one said even a single word. We hid our breath and the sound of her footsteps, and intensely focused on our surroundings to the point of being completely high-strung. We stepped forward. The door to the parlor was closed, but we could hear Maria's singing voice through it. Aunt Natsuhi put her hand on the handle of the doorknob. When George Aniki stopped her,
扉は僕が開ける。
it's kind of dangerous though, yeah. You gotta be careful when opening doors right now. Who knows if it's trapped, right?
夏日おばさんとバトラ君は武器を構えてて。
わかりました。
Butler better throw that candle stand if someone is there.
気をつけて。
開けると同時に攻撃してくるかもしれないぜ。ジョージ兄さん、注意して。
じゃあ行くよ。
He tried to open it, but immediately felt the hard resistance of the lock. Aunt Natsui took the bundle of keys from her pocket and gave them to George. There were about 10 keys and none of us had a clue which was which. Because of this, George had to fumble around loudly and test several of the keys. Since we had hidden our footsteps, preparing to make a surprise attack on the room, this felt almost fatal. The whole time, we could hear Maria's voice from the parlor singing the same song over and over. It was like a broken, crazy cassette tape. We'd been in that room almost constantly since morning. All the frightening things that had occurred outside the room that had left us with the impression that only this room was safe. That baseless impression was quickly falling apart.
開いた。
Here we go, here we go.
ありがとう。
Open it!
ジョージ君とジェシカは後ろに下がって。
おばさん、一気に飛び込んで左右に分かれよ。扉を開けてボサッとしてたら例のアイスピックがど真ん中に飛んでくるかもしれねえぜ。
承知しています。いいですか？
やっぱ嫌だって言いてえな。
I readied myself. If they're gonna be throwing ice picks, I'll whack them with this candle stand.
行きます。
Aunt Natsui and I rammed into the door before flying into the parlor. I mean, it seems normal. And nothing. Quickly splitting up left and right, searching the parlor for someone who might be waiting for us. But, oh my god, give me a second here. What our eyes landed upon was an incredibly strange sight. There was a lot of blood. Look at the right side. You can see that bag? The parlor was stained with blood. This place where we almost spent the entire day, where we pressed in together to protect ourselves, for some unknown malice, had been stained with fresh blood, had become an ocean of blood. On the floor lay Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Dr. Nanjo, their entire body stained bright red with blood. I told you, man. This three are the victims. Yeah, 6, 7, 8 Twilight. But the only way we could identify them was by their clothes. That's because, that's right, this is how the whole tragedy started. Their faces, just like our smashed up parents in the shed, you couldn't tell their eyes stopped and their nose began, okay? It was as though they'd rudely plunged their face into a tomato pot pie, all squished up. Golden Slaughterer. God damn, the title of that song. And that wasn't all. Their bodies had other wounds. It was those demon ice picks. So it's gonna be one in the stomach, one in the leg, and one in the knee, right? They were in Genji's stomach, Dr. Nanju's thigh. No, his knee. That's right, of course it's his knee. In the epitaph, the 6th Twilight was at the stomach, and the 7th Twilight, the knee was gouged. So after seeing one of them stuck near Kumasawa Bachan's calf, I couldn't help masochistically laughing. And that's right. 6th Twilight gouged the stomach and kill. 7 gouged the knee and kill. On the 8th gouged the leg and kill. Now even the 8th Twilight is over. And the next one, the 9th Twilight, what was it again? It's the witch. She's gonna be revived soon. Mario was there. You see Maria's spot there, right? There's no blood on her spot. You see that, right? In front of her. Yeah, look at that, her legs, right? In front of her legs, there's no blood there, only on the sides. I mean, sure, there's blood on her dress, right? And her bag. But yeah, the way she's facing, on the wall, I mean, that part has very, yeah, let's say droplets of blood, but not that many. She was facing the wall in the inner part of the room, standing stock, still completely alone. She faced away from this horrible scene, standing by the wall, singing her song over and over. There was nothing else in the room, just the corpses of the three who had been brutally killed, and the phone receiver which was still off its hook, proving that this was the room the call had come from. Just that and Maria, her back to the scene, as she kept singing while facing the wall. We couldn't even scream at this bizarre scene. We could only stare, shocked, with our mouths hanging loosely open.
Mario.
Jessica called out to her, but Maria showed no reaction. Alone, she kept singing on and on. We had come here trying to save Maria from some approaching danger. So now that we found her, we should have been running up to Maria, hugging her, joyous that she was safe. And yet, none of us could do that. Everyone thought, but they couldn't say it. After all, because that's right. Even if that's crazy, no, it couldn't be.
Maria! 歌うのをやめろ! 聞いてるのか?
At some point, Aunt Natsui and I pointed our weapons at Maria's back. I yelled at Maria in a violent voice, but there was no reaction. She just kept singing. With a candle stand still ready, I ran up to her and forcefully, no violently, slammed my hand on her shoulder. Then I pulled on her shoulder, forcing her to turn around. But she's back to normal now. Maria's small body was quickly pulled down and fell. And as though unhappy at having her singing interrupted, Maria looked into my face with her usual expression. Even in this gruesome situation, she was like normal.
マリア、これはどういうことなんだ。誰がやった？
おお、ベアトリーチェ。
いい加減にしろ。
I threw the candle stand I'd been holding against the wall. The violence of that reckless sound should have gone straight into Maria's heart. But Maria's expression didn't change at all.
よすんだバトラ君。マリアちゃん、今度こそ君は3人を殺す犯人の顔を見たはずだよ。犯人は君に手紙を渡したというベアトリーチェなのかい？
おお、ベアトリーチェ。
ああ、ならこれで確定したぜ。19人目はいるんだよ。ベアトリーチェは実在するんだ。じゃあマリア、これくらいは教えてくれるよな。奴はこの3人をどうやって殺したんだ。何をどうやったらあんなむごい殺し方ができるんだ。
知らない。
知らねえってことはねえだろ。この部屋での出来事だぞ。歌を歌うのに夢中で気づかなかったとか言い出すんじゃねえだろうな。
落ち着いてバトラ君。マリアちゃん、僕とお話ししようね。
George Aniki, as he always did, crouched down next to Maria so that their eyes met and talked to her very kindly.
マリアちゃんはどうして壁を向いてお歌を歌っていたのかな？
おお、ベアトリーチェがここでね、壁を向いてお歌をずっと歌っていなさいって言ったの。
じゃあベアトリーチェがここへやってきたんだね。その時にはまだ源氏さんたちは生きていたんだよね。
おお、みんなで客間に来て座ってた。源氏さんはちゃんと鍵をかけてたよ。
確かに鍵はかかってたが、じゃあどうやってベアトリーチェは客間に入ってきたってんだよ。
おお、でもベアトリーチェは魔女だから鍵なんか関係ない。蝶々になって扉の隙間から通り抜けてきたんだよ。
はあ？冗談も休み休み言いやがれ。そんなわけねえだろ。お前は何を言ってやがるんだ。
Alright, she's back. The scary one.
信じられないよね。だから言いたくなかった。どうせ言っても信じないもん。でもベアトリーチェは魔女なの。不思議な魔法で何でもできるの。だからベアトリーチェは鍵のかかった扉なんか全然関係ないんだよ。
それで現れたベアトリーチェは、そしてみんなはどうしたの？
ベアトリーチェは言ったよ。おじいさまの書斎は強力な力に守られていてどうしても入れない。だからあと3人の生贄はこの客間の4人の中から選ぶって。みんな嫌だって言ったよ。熊沢さんは嫌だ嫌だってすごい言ってた。でもベアトリーチェは選ぶよ。そしたらね、ベアトリーチェはマリアはいいよって言ってくれたの。どうしてだと思う？バトラがマリアの安全を祈って念を込めてくれたあの火星の5の魔法陣のサソリのお守りがあったからだよ。だからその力でベアトリーチェはマリアにだけは何もできなかった。だから生贄はマリアじゃない3人に決まったの。
Okay.
そしたらね、ベアトリーチェはね、言ったの。
さあさあ、壁に向かってお歌を歌って聞かせなさい。あなたはたくさんたくさんお歌を歌うから
何が起こっても何が聞こえても聞こえないわからない。さあさあ、楽しいお歌をわらわにたくさん聞かせておくれ。
だからマリアはずっとお歌を歌ってた。ずっと歌ってたんだよ。だから何も聞こえない、わからない。そしたらバトラたちがやってきたんだよ。
それを信じろってのか？バカにするんじゃねえぜ。
じゃあ今度は誰を疑う？マリアを疑う？マリアをこの場で殺してみる？そんなことしてもベアトリーチェはいなくならない。これで第8の番は終わったよ。ベアトリーチェはよみがえる。
ふざけんな。もうそんな話は金輪際ごめんだぜ。魔女なんているもんか。煙に巻かれてたまるか。俺は認めねえぞ。ベアトリーチェなんていいね。絶対に俺が認めねえ。だから存在なんかさせねえ。蘇りもさせねえ。伝説は永遠に伝説のままだ。この俺がそんなことを認めね
よせよバトラ。マリアが殺したわけでも見殺しにしたわけでもない。ベアトリーチェが来てマリアは抵抗できず従わざるを得なかっただけだぜ。
あれ、
What happened? It's suddenly silent now.
夏日おばさん。おばさんがいない。
Oh yeah, she's not here. She wasn't even speaking.
あれ、
I didn't even realize.
母さんどこ行ったの？
さっき手紙を読みながら一人で出て行ったよ。
Reading a letter. Another letter? A letter? That didn't make sense. The culprit must be so accelerated now that we reached the 8th twilight. They might have led a letter so that they could brag even more. We were so wrapped up in questioning Maria that we forgot to look for a letter. But even as well armed as she was, why had she left the room by herself in this dangerous mansion after reading it? Jessica tried to chase after her and tugged at the handle to the door, but it resisted strangely and wouldn't open.
母さん、お母さん、何これ。開けて、開けて。
It was only natural. Natsu had picked up the candle stand which Butler had thrown at the wall and which had fallen to the floor. She had then skillfully wedged it between the doorknobs and the double doors like a bolt, holding them closed. The intricate design of the candle stand caused it to get caught solidly, and it really did make a sturdy seal on the door. The tragic scream of a daughter for her mother. Did it reach Natsui's ears or not? Dead Angle. It's a nice song, yeah. The beat is nice, I mean. Natsui's figure was alone in the entrance hall. It was a place decorated by the portrait of Beatrice. Natsui threw down Beatrice's last letter, the one she had read in the parlor. Readied her rifle again, and in a voice that rang clear, yelled in the massive space that was the entrance hall.
後宮家代表、後宮夏日です。
Why is she gonna shoot the portrait now?
姿を見せなさい、黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェ。
Oh, I guess yeah, because she's gonna revive, right? She's waiting for her. The entrance hall was dimly lit. Other than a faint light which shone on the center of the room, everything was blotted out by the jet black darkness. Oh, the butterflies. In the darkness, butterflies glittering gold squirmed, twinkled, and sneered. Natsuhi gave one more huge gulp and pointed the cold barrel of the gun at the gold butterflies.
ようやく姿を現しましたね。あなたのような存在が本当に存在したなんて、私は未だ信じることができない。でもそれは問題ではありません。後宮家の代表であると自負する私と、後宮家の当主を引き継いだと自称するあなたが今この場にいる。あなたが本当に魔女なのかどうかは今となっては些細な問題です。さあ決着をつけましょう。後宮家を真に引き継ぐ者はどちらか。この後宮夏日か、あなたベアトリーチェか。あなたの決闘の申し出、謹んでお引き受けさせていただきます。
See what happened. The gold butterflies slowly formed a human shape which walked into the dim light. Natsuhi readied the rifle and glared. The witch raised her golden staff overhead and laughed. Natsuhi's fingers slowly squeezed the trigger. Butler made an all-out dash at the door and rammed into it, crushing the candle stand that had been barring it and making it possible for a big gap to be opened in the door. He kept kicking the candle stand through that gap and the door was finally released. At that time, they heard it. They suddenly heard the crisp sound of gunfire ring out once. And now they're gonna be one by one dying. Now they're running off there on their own.
今のは銃声だぜ。夏代おばさんが撃ったんだ。
At home? At the culprit? The noise had come from the entrance hall, and the entrance hall looked like a stage, like the heroine of a tragedy underground and bathed in light. Arrayed in the beauty of that silence, Aunt Natsuhi lay face up, crumpled on the floor. Half crazed, Jessica ran up to Aunt Natsuhi. On Aunt Natsuhi's forehead, it was almost as though a sparkling shard of pigeon blood ruby had been placed there. And from it, one stream of blood makeup passed by her eye and began to traverse her face. The faint smell of gunpowder came from the barrel of the rifle on Natsuhi still grasped. Can we look at the characters, by the way? I just want to see. So, yeah, head and the leg, or the knee, I mean. I just wanted to look at this. Genji, face and the stomach. Kumasawa, the face and the leg, right? I mean, for Terumasa or Nanjo, I mean the knee. And then for Natsuhi, the face. Found shot to death. What? Found shot to death in front of the witch's portrait. How impudent of her to run or to challenge a witch with nothing but a mere gun. Of course she'd end up like this. Shot to death. Wait, did she shoot herself instead? Then she shot herself in the forehead. Why?
Why? どうしておばさんは一人で抜け出して、どうして自分の額を撃ち抜いているんだよ。
マリアちゃん、夏日おばさんは手紙を読んでから部屋を出たんだよね。手紙がない。くそ、おばさんは何を読んでどうしてここに誘い出されたんだ。
知らねえぜ、そんなことはどうでも
Jessica clung to her mother's corpse, crying earnestly. My body was consumed with an anger I didn't know what to do with, and I snatched a rifle from Aunt Natsui's hand. I spun around, pointing the barrel of the gun into the darkness on all sides as though I was pointing a light from a lighthouse trying to find the culprit. George Aniki, even in this situation, was trying to calmly figure something out, but that might have been a fruitless effort. And only Maria was completely indifferent. So is this all supposed to be some kind of predetermined fate? No, that's not it. This is all a prelude to a wonderful world. Damn. The door to the golden land will finally open.
第9の晩に魔女はよみがえり、誰も生き残れはしない。そして第10の晩に旅は終わり、黄金の里へ至るだろう。これで全部終わったね、ベアトリーチェ。おめでとう、おめでとう。
I mean, congratulations, everyone is dead. What's wrong with you?
だからマリアを導いて、あなたの話してくれた黄金鏡へ。今こそ。
There, all of the dead will be revived and even lost love will be restored. So in Maria's eyes, it's just as though all of today's tragedies didn't happen. It's as though all the time she spent deprived of love never happened.
いい加減にしやがれ。何が楽しい、何がおめでたい。この島には18人いた。14人死んだ。残りは俺たち4人だ。俺は絶対に死なねえぞ。夜が明けるまで、いや台風が過ぎ去ってまた船着き場に海猫たちが帰ってくるまで俺は絶対に死なねえんだよ。生き残ってやる、生き残ってやる、絶対。
よしなよバトラー。ベアトリーチェに銃なんて意味ないよ。それに生き残るも何ももうおしまいなんだよ。もう旅は終わったんだよ。ほら時計を見てごらん。
Huh? The clock? Hearing those words, I looked at my wristwatch. Both needles were almost touching near the top. Very soon, it will be 12 at night. Oh, okay. It wasn't 12, but what time is it now? 23:30 it says. In other words, 24. When you think about it, isn't 24 a strange time? It can be called 2400 hours and it can be called 00. It's the hour at the culmination of the previous day. In the same time, it's the hour 0 as the next day begins. Maria suddenly called out happily and ran towards the darkness. It was almost as though Beatrice was somewhere in that darkness and Maria was running up to her. As Jessica hugged her mother's corpse, as George Aniki stood there confused, I looked down the barrel of the rifle, gazing into the darkness. The space in front of Beatrice's portrait lay in that direction, and the thing Maria was running up to was the portrait's subject. You got to be kidding me. This is just impossible. Like I'd fall for something like this. Witches don't exist. I won't accept it. Something like you shouldn't exist because this is a human world. You think I could accept something that's not a human? I definitely won't accept it. When I pulled hard on the rifle's lever, the cartridge was ejected, fell on the floor, and the new cartridge was loaded. Then I sighted the witch down the barrel. Maria turned around. Still clinging to the golden witch, she turned around.
だから意味なんてないってば。ベアトリーチェに鉛玉なんて意味ないってば。 バカだね、人間は。
俺は魔女なんて認めねえぞ。貴様は誰だ。一歩でも動いてみろ、指一本でも動かしてみろ。こいつをぶち込んでやら。
Wait, that's a different person now. As the witch, no, the witches laughed. Even the large clock in the hall joined in on their laughter. It was probably telling us that the time was 2400 hours. It was both a tone telling us that we had reached a culmination of this day and a tone informing us that all had returned to nothing. The rule that the witch would win when the time ran out had already been revealed.
バトラ、ジョージお兄ちゃんにジェシカお姉ちゃん、旅は終わって魔女は蘇ったよ。
And none shall be left alive. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the golden land. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be put to the witch to sleep for all time. What? One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. What does that mean? Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch Beatrice. Let me read that again. One shall be all the gold from the golden land. One shall be the resurrection of all the gold, the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Okay? Oh, we finished. Midnight. What happens now? Do I click in it? Okay, it's automatic. Notebook, pages in a wine bottle. Dude, the storm passed and the leaden clouds that had enshrouded the island for so long began to clear away. Sunbeams shone from the rifts between the clouds. Yesterday's storm seemed like a lie, just as someone had wished the seagulls returned to the harbor once again and let their lively cries be heard. Afterwards, the police arrived and conducted an investigation of the scene. The corpses of the children who are believed to have survived until the very end were never found. However, the body parts that were discovered, okay, gruesome scene, including the children, were hopelessly dim. Just how gruesome was the banquet of the witch, and how beautiful was the golden land. Those tales are for them alone to tell amongst themselves. They have no tale for those who arrived after the banquet had ended. One can only but imagine what transpired during the course of the 2 days. However, the witch was fickle. She made a point of leaving behind this tale, which had no need to be told, and permitted it to spread. A few years later, a strange wine bottle drifting on the waves on the quayside of a neighboring island was recovered by a fisherman. Stuffed inside were tightly rolled notebook pages. Okay, 2-day period began October 4, 1986. 18 killings of Rokkenjima. I can't read it so fast. Lovers of the occult claim it to sore result of an immoral ritual. And while the notebook pages tell of this mysterious incident, they do not tell the truth behind it. Perhaps not even the writer of the notebook knew the truth. Perhaps she may have desired to know. According to the writer's signature, her name was Ushirimiya Maria. Furthermore, as a result of an all-out police search, a part of Maria's body has been discovered. A piece of her jaw? Dude, what the hell? Because the jaw had been separated from its body, the police consider her chances of survival to be dim. I mean, jaw gone, of course. By the time you read this, I'll probably be dead. Although there may or may not be a corpse, you who have read this, please uncover the truth. That is my only wish. Ushinomiya Maria. To this day, the truth of the witch's legend serial murder case has not been brought to light. First game, Legend of the Golden Witch result. Oh, we got it all. Chosen by the keys, sacrificed. All 6 of them. Forehead pierced by the stake of Asmodeus. Stake of Beelzebub, Mammon, Satan, Lucifer, Belphegor, Leviathan. What is this? Witch Beatrice. Okay. The witch praised her nobility and granted her the honor of a duel. Natsuhi accepted the witch, prostrated herself, and was invited to the Golden Land. Denies the existence of the witch. Will she invite him to the Golden Land? Butler? For George, he lost his fiancée. For Jessica, her lost loved one. For Maria, the lost love of her mother. Rest in peace, Beatrice. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice. Of the 18, none solved the riddle of the golden time. All 18 died. When the seagull cried, none were left alive. Umineko, when they cry. Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning. God damn, dude, I wish we could have paused that. What the hell was that? It was so fast, right? I wanted to pause that. Yeah, this also happened in Higurashi, by the way, right? When they were showing parts of that, like that. I mean, scenes like that. It was so fast. Yes. I'll get a gold bar, okay, for my efforts of finishing the episode. Oh, we're back. Oh, we got something. Tea party. Okay, let's talk about it, but let's know. What is this? Tea party. Oh, we got something like this. Okay. Picture box. So I guess tea party is this like the all-star cast in this game instead? I mean, all-star and all-cast interview, was it? But yeah, in Higurashi they had that, right? In the first first 4 arcs, something like that, right? Is a tea party like that? Picture box. Yeah, this is the creepy one. Look at this. Yep. Wait, we only got a couple of them? Like 4 of them? Oh, here we got a lot of them. Secret. How do I open that? And then we got another one. Music box. But yeah. I do remember what the last part there that Maria said. It said like it was similar, honestly, like to Keiichi and Higurashi. What did it say again? Like when you find this letter, I might or may have already died, something like that, right? But yeah, it was similar. That is what I'm saying. Okay, what the hell is this? Oh, it was playing the music. Okay, let's put it here. Where do we put it? Put it in the picture box because it will keep going there for sure. But yeah, it was very, very similar to what happened in the ending of the first chapter of Higurashi, right? In Onikakushi. That letter that Keiichi left before he died in that chapter is really similar to that. If you could have read that a little bit there. It was so fast. I'm sorry. Alright? But yeah, it was pretty much the same. Maria and Keiichi wrote the same thing. But yeah, please do solve the mystery or whatever. Something like that, right? Very, very similar. But what I want to say about this episode. Episode 1 is action-packed. I'm not gonna lie, it really is action-packed. Compared to Higurashi's episode 1 or chapter 1. For Higurashi, what they did is, yeah, you had a lot of fun with your friends, right? And then until the Watanagashi festival happened, then it started becoming creepy, right? Slowly until the chapter finished. Yeah, the half part of the chapter is pretty much Keiichi being like paranoid and stuff like that, right? So it was a slow build. But yeah, for this one, for Umineko, until we reached the part where Maria had read the letter, right? I mean, yeah, there were a lot. What I mean is, in this one, there were a lot of things happening, even from the beginning, as we had a lot of characters here compared to the other ones. Can we see the characters, by the way? Or do we have a something like that here? Picture? No, we don't have anything like that. Okay, but yeah, in this one, we had a lot of different characters. We got the cousins, Maria, Butler, George, Jessica, the kids, right? We had their scenes with them. They had their own scenes talking with each other. And then we had scenes with the parents. Them conducting business. What they want with the inheritance and all of that, right? Them talking. So there were a lot of different stuff happening already in this game. I find it good, honestly. Even though it was hard to understand sometimes, especially when they were talking about in the business side, right? But I do enjoy it though. It entertained me, I'm not gonna lie. Especially when Kraus there turned the tables onto them, right? That was pretty cool. And then when we reached the half part, then it started, right? For this one, a lot happened already. Sure. I guess Beatrice, like, she didn't really show herself at the ending there. It was just cut, right? After that, cut, and then we didn't see what happened, right? It was done. But yeah, everyone died basically, right? And in this game, everyone died here. So there was a lot more action, is what I'm saying. It's really a nice introduction when you get to the series like this. First episode gives you a lot of action. How did it happen? Is it Beatrice? Is it someone else? Who knows, right? Do witches really exist? Who knows? But yeah, you have a lot of questions already. First episode. Very, very action-packed. I really like it, yeah. I like how full-on action-packed episode for this one. It was really good. It was really good. So what I'm looking forward to, I guess, for the next episodes is, I wonder how the story is gonna work, right? For Higurashi, I guess. Yeah, it involved the different characters as we go through the chapters, right? When the first one, it was Keiichi, and then the second one, it was Mion, right? But he was still Keiichi. But the story revolved around that particular character, right? So for this one, for the other episodes, I can't wait to see the other characters. For example, George, right? George and Shannon. Like, how did that relationship build up? I want to see how that happened. And yeah, the other older people as well. For example, Rosa. What happened with her there? Who's Maria's dad, for example, right? Why is Rosa like super angry all the time? I mean, not super angry all the time, but when she gets angry, she really is angry, right? The other one's Kyrie, Rudolph. When we read their characters, like the description of the characters, right? It seems like Rudolph is very shady, right? I want to see more of that. Kraus, I think he will die every time. Every episode, I think Kraus will die. For sure, right? But yeah, I want to see more of the other characters, is what I mean. The ones who died much more earlier. Shannon. Can't wait to see more of them. But yeah, we still have one more, I guess, to do in this episode. We got the tea party. And let's see what's that all about. Is it gonna be the exact same as Higurashi? Are the characters gonna be talking to each other like they're actors and actresses, right? And they're gonna be talking about the story. That would be cool. But let's see. It doesn't say all cast review. It says tea party, right? Maybe they are in the Golden Land now, and they're having a tea party there. So let's see what happens there. And yeah, I guess we're gonna continue and do more of Umineko When They Cry episode 1 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.